Some saying that Walmart and Best Buy are good indicators of the health of the holiday shopping season. Joining us right now is Diversified Private Wealth Advisors President Dominick Tavella. Dominick, good to see you.
Good morning.
Yeah. So, what's your outlook for holidays shopping? You said the consumer has really shown some strength.
Yeah. Look, the consumer's as healthy as we've had them in a long time. The reality is we've created over 2 million jobs year to date plus in this country. These are people that really have now money in their pocket and they're spending it. So they're feeling good. They have money in their pocket. I actually expect a pretty decent holiday season.
Wow, markets are up $5.4 trillion since Election Day. You still would put new money to work here?
You know what? I really want to look at what corporations have done year to date, top line growth, bottom line growth. And I know there's a lot of sentiment out there. It's the Trump effect. But you really have to look at earnings. And you're looking at the S&P potentially coming close to $140 in earnings looking forward. That's huge. We get any kind of tax cut, corporate tax cut, that could add another 5% to earnings.
How focused is the market right now on this tax debate in Washington, and what happens if they don't get something done or if they underdeliver?
Big question. We've had a real pause here in this last week to 2 weeks, and you know what? Finally, the headline news is starting to get to investors going, wait a minute, there's a real danger out there. I know they're talking about passing this tax legislation, but which version and what economic effect is it going to have? And it's really going to have economic effect on people out there. We got a new Fed chair coming in relatively soon, and we have interest rate hikes in December. I think that's expected, but what is the forecast going forward?
You think we could get some more volatility in the next couple of months? Because the way things work in Washington is they tend not to get anything done until they failed once or twice. It seems like they might stumble a couple of times on this tax bill before they actually get anything passed.
Yeah, I would actually argue they're not going to pass this thing. I think.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna argue that they're not.
Well, then you have to expect a major sell-off.
I could see if they don't pass it or some version of it, at least a 5% sell-off. I definitely could see.
But Dom, you think that'll be a pullback to buy?
That would be a pullback to buy. I think they will come to some kind of an agreement, and I think some type of tax legislation is going to be passed. I think corporate America is going to be happy. I don't know about the average taxpayer out there.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Dom, I've been really focused on productivity because for the last decade in the real economy, the stock market's done great. The real economy, slow growth. And I think one of the reasons was a lack of productivity growth. We were stuck around 1% for most of the Obama era. We've now got 2 quarters in a row of 3% productivity growth, and that's a massive jump. It seems to me that companies are finally investing in their workers and in productivity and technology and plants and people. Is that sustainable? Do you think we're in a new, higher productivity era, and could that drive stocks higher even from here?
And I'm going to tie your number into that. We got GDP projections for the fourth quarter at 2.8%. So we could actually start seeing real sustainable economic growth. But let's be sensitive to the fact that the consumer can be very finicky, and if they feel threatened, they're going to stop spending. Small business owners are feeling really positive, and that's the hiring boom and bringing in technology to make their own productivity better. But that also could be very fickle.
So we look at Walmart maybe as an indicator of how working class Americans are doing. There's also some news right now about, are they going to charge more in stores than online or less in stores? And so that could be an indicator on what's going to happen to their stock price too. Are there other companies that we should be looking at to say this is how Americans are really doing?
Well, I just want to touch on your story about Walmart. So one of those crazy little statistics, 90% of the population in this country lives within 10 miles of one of their stores. It's an amazing stat. So if you want to know how well the consumer is doing, look at Walmart sales. So I think their earnings today are going to be fine. I'm not really worried about that. But like Target yesterday, what is their forecast going forward? So if they get, oh yeah, their earnings today were, and Target's yesterday were pretty good earnings, top and bottom line growth. Yeah. But if their earnings today are positive, but their guidance for the season is soft, that could be a real problem.
But let me tell you, I mean, you just said a minute ago that these markets have sort of slowed down, and we did see a little bit of a rollover these last 2 weeks. What's the worry? Is it uncertainty about the tax plan and the fact that people are understanding that interest rates are going higher now?
Definitely. I think headline risk.
Anything else?
Headline risk is definitely part of the consumers, investors' attitude right now. But we had headline risk all year long, and they kind of ignored it. But you know what? We've had 15% on the S&P, 18% on the Dow. People are going, whoa, maybe we've gone a little bit too far, a little bit too fast.
Yeah. All right, Dominick, we'll be watching. We're waiting on Walmart numbers. They should be out any minute. Good to see you. Thank you, Dominick Tavella.